It can't be that bad, oh, 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 it can't be that bad.
It's the whole thing. Bottled in Bond is the title of whiskey that was like essentially approved by the government to be made, and the government like kept track of it. Yeah. So even during Prohibition, there would be distilleries who would make this whiskey bottled in Bond, and there would be like an armed government agent standing in front of the still every minute of the day. Mm-hmm. And then like when it was put into a bourbon barrel, he stood and watched it, and then he watched it pretty much be exported. And that was just a way for America to not completely destroy our liquor business. And still have Prohibition, because
it's crazy how big of a deal liquor was at the time. I watched recently just the first episode of Boardwalk Empire.
Me too.
Which is insane because
it's we'll get to your part, but yes, it's an incredible, perfect pilot.
Incredible. This huge political figure who is well respected in society.
It sets up everything for the next 5 seasons.
Yes.
But what was your point?
Well, just the fact that he was well respected. It's just the hypocrisy in his role in society. This guy who is advocating like against liquor, and like Prohibition starts in like 5. They literally do a countdown in the first episode, and once they start Prohibition, they just get hammered, party.
Well, first they play taps.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like they know the joke.
Oh,
bro.
yes.
And what's so funny about the 20s is like we were always taught like through social studies and shit that it was like, and America thought this was a good idea, so we did it. And then a couple years later, we're like, we changed our minds. Mm-hmm. But the truth is like, it was such a corrupt law, the 17th Amendment, that like, it was just such a, like, it's unbelievable. That proves how corrupt our government is.
Yeah, but look how much liquor has evolved to make this into like a pretty clean transition into the movie we're going to talk about.
Oh, I don't know how you're going to do this. Let's do it.
The whole clubbing aspect of modern society, like how liquor is a booming business mixed with, you know, the social aspect of having to go out on a Friday or Saturday night, and you know, without liquor, it ain't a party. Right? This completely legal substance is now a booming business that...
It's a backbone.
Yes. I mean, unfortunately for the pandemic, clubbing ain't a thing anymore. But, you know, just like 2 years ago, that was the thing. You're willing to pay top dollar for some shitty liquor so that you could have a chance to rub up against a baddie's booty.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
You are fucking incredible.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Vice versa, man.
Well, I would not have been able to make that connection.
Really?
Nope.
What? Dude,
I just started talking out my ass, and you were able to bring it into the episode. And honestly, well done, sir.
Thank you very much, man.
That, like, baddies, take notes. This is how it's done.
I'm so flattered. Blushing right now.
Welcome.
Hey, welcome to another episode of ICBTB Podcast.
Also known as...
It Can't Be That Bad.
Podcast.
Baddies. What it do?
My name is Alejandro.
And my name is Christian.
And we are here
to defend a bad movie.
Not just any bad movie.
One of my favorite movies.
A movie that I've never seen in its entirety until today.
Which blows my...
You will get aggressive every time I say it. I've said it 3 times to you today, and each time you've gotten upset.
Because at least 50 times I've seen this movie. At least.
You've suggested it a bunch of times since we started this podcast. I think this was one of the first movies you brought up.
Yes.
And I have been pushing it off because I thought it was bad. I thought it wasn't going to be worth it. Honestly, one of my top favorite comedies.
Dude,
not even being facetious.
I'm so happy that you think it's funny.
Seriously, such an underrated, because I chalked this up to SNL films of the late 90s, early 2000s that were just stupid money grabs, extensions of their skits. Mm-hmm. Yes, that is what it is. But done so well. It's so fucking funny. The characters are so fucking hilarious. The costumes are so outrageous.
Yes.
Everybody is so committed.
Yep.
Mwah.
Really good, right? Usually I get scared to rewatch movies that
we liked as kids.
That meant a lot to my childhood growing up, because now that I've like matured a little bit more and my comedy bone is a little more grown out, I just don't think that I'd like it as much.
That's exactly my thinking with Airheads.
Yes, but Airheads, like we reviewed
Held up.
So funny still. This movie, laughing out loud at 2 a.m. I was watching this.
You're a monster. Dude, you're an asshole.
Bro. Fuck you, Mom. Fuck you, Dad. I don't care if you're sleeping, and I don't care if you have work in the morning.
Eating popcorn. It's like, ha, 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 ha.
They're getting older that I could be pretty fucking loud.
We get pretty loud in the studio and nobody seems to like care at all.
Nah, that's the thing with age. It comes with, you get hearing impaired, and
I do also like that we added the speaker outside of the house so everyone in the neighborhood hears as we record too. That's been fun.
It's for the people that don't have modern day technology that want to listen to the podcast. They could hear it live.
You're welcome.
Yes.
We watched an incredible movie.
Wow, it's so flat. I feel like you're complimenting me indirectly by calling it an incredible movie.
On top of the fact that I think this is a really funny movie, I also think that like the outside stuff that happened during the production of this film also add to the story and lore of this film.
Yes.
And that's why I love film. The production of the film to me is just as important as the film itself.
All the stuff that happens on the set and off the set, dude.
Correct.
To help create this movie. We watched A Night at the Roxbury.
A Night. I forget the A, but it is.
There's an A in there, right? Yeah, A Night at the Roxbury.
Can we try it again?
We watched a film called A Night at the Roxbury. I have the VHS for this.
Really?
Yes, dude. That's why I watched it so many times as a kid. That VHS is fucked up.
Wow.
I can't tell you how many times that I've watched it, put it back into the VHS rewinder.
Yep.
And just
put
to
it right
watch
back
it again.
Wow.
And rewatching this, I watched this probably 5 years ago, so this is the first time in like 5 years. Still, there are jokes that blow my mind that I'm like, I've heard this a million times, but did not register in my mind as a kid. Yes.
That, to me, Martin Scorsese said recently on an interview, cinema is when you can watch a movie with years in between and still learn something new about the film, about yourself, and about the human condition.
This is why I love movies, dude.
Is A Night at the Roxbury maybe a cinematic masterpiece?
Yes.
I think it actually is.
Yes, dude.
I think it's the most underrated cinematic masterpiece ever made. And I'm not even being facetious about that.
Easily one of the most underrated, straight from sketch SNL to theaters movie.
You know why I didn't want to watch the movie?
Why?
Is because I liked the sketch because Jim Carrey was in it.
Yes.
So I always thought the movie without Jim Carrey isn't going to be as funny.
He helped write this movie, some parts, but he's uncredited.
Yes, I did. Man. He wanted to be in it, but Lorne Michaels, I think, didn't want Jim Carrey to be in it.
Dude, Lorne Michaels at the time had so much power. For you listeners out there that don't know who Lorne Michaels is, he's the head runner, executive producer, and creator of Saturday Night Live. And so apparently you'll hear this from a lot of cast members of SNL. That they're terrified of him.
He was also like, but that's how we know him, as this this godlike, human-fearing figure who ran SNL. But people like my dad know Lorne Michaels as like a comedian who did sketch comedy, who was on the first season of SNL because that was him and his friends doing sketch, and they somehow got a deal with NBC and it's on TV at midnight. But how crazy is that?
It is insane.
And now he's like the god of comedy.
But I get it. As funny as you are on stage, when you become a businessman off stage and it's about the money and it's about like
businessman.
He has a standard to uphold, and I'm not mad at him for being as scary as he is. He just wants to put on a good show, probably the most memorable, the highest standard sketch show that there is, right?
Oh, it's the pinnacle of sketch show.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've heard on podcasts like members of Mad TV saying like Mad TV was so ghetto, like and in comparison to Saturday Night
Who
Live.
had the money, they were in Rockefeller Center, they had all this shit. Can I just throw this out here real quick? Would you like to guess Lorne Michaels' net worth?
$500 million.
That's exactly it.
You're kidding.
Fucking
really?
This man who tells dick jokes for a living.
What?
Is worth $500 million. He has held multiple careers in his hand. He has himself spawned the career of trillions of dollars worth of entertainment. Mm-hmm. People like Eddie Murphy, people like Chris Rock, people like Jim Carrey, people like Bill Murray, people like fucking Dan Aykroyd.
Yes.
Franchises like the Ghostbusters, franchises like fucking Tommy Boy. He's the reason why all of those things are it.
Yes. He has the power to birth the career of so many actors out there.
Birth and end careers. We'll get to that in a minute. Man. I have a nitty gritty 45 minutes into the episode if it pleases the court.
Let's do it, dude.
We watched a movie called A Night at the Roxbury. It was rated PG-13 and was related... We watched a movie called A Night at the Roxbury. It is rated PG-13 and was released in the year 1998. It has a runtime of 1 hour and 22 minutes or 82 minutes. Perfect runtime for a movie and a comedy. Comedy should be no more than 120 minutes.
Great time. Great runtime.
Has a rating of 6.3 on IMDb, a 11% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 5 out of 5 from Walmart.
Dude, Walmart really coming through. We need to have Walmart as a guest.
Was it Airheads that was also like 4 out of 5 on Walmart?
Yes, man.
There was like one other random ass movie that's rated hella high on Walmart.
Every single time you bring up Walmart, and I think it's because their standards are so low in terms of like, their wholesale.
It's people buying it. That's who's rating it, though. It's not movie raters. It's like someone who bought it at Walmart and was
Walmart customers, dude.
5-star service. My checkout stand was fantastic.
Oh, great. Okay.
What's the Google users?
I'm going to go with 87%. Wrong? Right? Am I on... Did I hit it on the head again?
On the nose.
Fuck, dude.
You knocked this motherfucker out in the first round in the first second.
I think the first time...
Hang on.
The 180 episodes we've done?
Are you going to hit the trifecta?
Oh, no. You put so much pressure now.
The budget of this film was $17 million.
I'm going to fuck it up here.
The box office recoup of this film is...
$35 million.
30.3.
Woo! Hey,
Christian,
I'm happy with how accurate that is.
I'm so happy with how accurate... Like, wow.
I'm so excited.
You had 30 in the pocket, but you changed it. I could see it in your mind.
I was about to say 30, but I feel like I've said 30. I think I said 30 for Employee of the Month. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. And I didn't want to like repeat a number since it's, that was just last week.
Wow.
Damn.
You are, I know I say this as a joke, but I mean this, earning every single penny of that Patreon check, Christian. You are on fire today.
I'm so happy. I think I could cry.
For the listeners, this is our 8th episode recording today, and Christian is on fire right now. He is just killing it. Oh my goodness. Let's jump into it, Christian. Night at the Roxbury. Synopsis coming at you.
Yep. Right at you.
Thank you. Despite being into adulthood, brothers Doug and Steve Butabi still live at home and work in the flower shop owned by their dad. They exist only to hit on women at discos, though they are routinely unsuccessful until a chance run-in with Richard Grieco from 21 Jump Street gets them inside a swanky Roxbury club. Mistaken for high rollers, they meet their dream women, Vivian and Camby, and resolve to open a club of their own. This is the most misleading synopsis I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. It's because
they lied. I'm going to make a synopsis right here.
Okay,
They lied straight to your face, baddies, and I don't like hypocrites.
Okay, tell them why you don't like the synopsis.
It sucks. I'm going to give them my own.
Do it.
Okay. I'm going to take their first sentence, though, because that one is good. Despite being into adulthood, brothers Doug and Steve Butabi still live at home and work in a flower shop owned by their dads. But tired of their lives as rich boys, they want to do something more and open their own club. Despite hot girls, a rich man, and Richard Grieco, they do it.
Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Tell me that that's not a better synopsis.
Oh,
wow.
I don't know.
That should have been a quick answer.
It's a more simplified synopsis.
Did I spoil the ending?
Is it better? No, you didn't spoil the ending. Okay. No, not at all. I think what they show too much of is like the Vivian and Camby,
who are like in it for 5 minutes.
They don't play a crazy big part. I mean, their existence does kind of start the trajectory of the plot of this film.
I believe they call it the inciting incident, if my screenplay knowledge is as good as I think it is.
They start the inciting incident of this film.
Thank you, Sid Field.
Man, yeah, brushing up on your script writing knowledge there.
I Googled what books they use in colleges for filmmakers, and I bought those books.
Hey, dude, Google
cut the middleman out, bro, right?
Just read it.
Hey.
Read it and make films on your own.
This movie has everybody.
So many people, like 5 SNL cast members, I believe.
And it's produced. I've never seen a Saturday Night Live production as in the opening credits until this film. Have you ever seen that? I've always seen a Lorne Michaels production. And
I can't remember that far.
I've never seen something that is credited at, like, Happy Gilmore's not credited like that. Which I guess that's not.
No, that's Adam Sandler's
But Lorne Michaels produced that.
Oh, did he? So he helped Adam Sandler with that. But I guess probably since Happy Gilmore wasn't a sketch straight from the SNL writers' room.
What about like Superstar?
We'd have to, I don't know. I haven't seen that in so many years.
Marjani will check it.
Yup.
Chris Kattan and Will Ferrell do this two-hander, and they kill it.
Impeccable chemistry.
Yes.
Which I want to talk about a little bit. We're going to get into the movie, but like you said before, it's about the stuff that happened backstage. I'm sorry, offset.
Offset backstage in the future.
Yes.
And in the past.
Because their chemistry in this film is undeniable. They are so good. They make great brothers and work off each other very
And their
well.
chemistry has always been really good. Their chemistry on SNL was really good.
Yep.
Their chemistry in all of the... Well, they've only done 2 movies together? One movie?
What was the other movie?
I don't know. I was hoping you'd know. Maybe it is. This is the only film
This
that they've
is
done
really
together.
the only thing that I can think of on the forefront of my mind.
But they've
done
done a lot of stuff together through SNL.
Yes.
And that's... I always used to think of Chris Kattan and Will Ferrell together.
Yes. SNL cast members, you're going through this high pressure thing that Lorne is putting you through. You're going to create a bond.
Forged by fire.
Yeah, you're on the fucking battlefield when you go out there on a Saturday night live, and you just fucking do it.
Get this man a bonus Patreon check.
Thank you.
So Chris Kattan and Will Ferrell were best friends, great friends, who wrote this sketch and the original idea for the script together. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, as we learned, when this movie stopped filming, Will Ferrell apparently, according to Chris Kattan, took 28 years off of talking to him.
Is it 28?
28 years. They didn't speak again.
I heard it wasn't until the 23rd season of SNL. However,
when they did a reunion.
Oh, so
they did a reunion show and everybody was there. And allegedly, Will Ferrell said one thing to Chris Kattan. Did you see what that was?
No, what was it? Oh, I saw your messages, but I didn't want to talk to you. Or some shit like that, right?
He said, I saw your messages, but I don't want to talk to you. I will be professional with you and work with you, but I don't want any other relationship.
Do you know if they're friends now? That's something that I want to know. And I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't, dude.
I think, based on all that I've heard, Will Ferrell wants nothing to do with Kim Cattrall. Or, I'm sorry, Chris Kattan.
Who did you say?
Kim Cattrall from Sex and the City. Maybe he wants nothing to do with Kim Cattrall either.
Yeah, that might be right.
But Chris Kattan is who we're talking about.
Yeah, Chris Kattan, he has a very special place in my heart because of this movie and also because of the SNL sketches that he was in.
Gay Hitler is my favorite character.
Usually, I'm not a big fan of very physical comedic actors, but he did it so well. He did it great as Mango.
Yeah.
He did it great as
Corky Romano.
Mr. What was the monkey character that he does on SNL?
Oh, I don't know the name.
Shit, dude.
His favorite character on SNL for me is Gay Hitler.
Which is already, knowing Chris Kattan,
Spracken Dick.
Fucking fantastic.
Which is a line that Will Ferrell says in Step Brothers.
Ooh, as a little...
When he does when the neighbors are coming to look at the house.
Oh, and he's Hitler mowing the lawn?
He says Spracken Dick when he's talking to his brother. And I wonder, Will Ferrell must know that that's Chris Kattan's line from Saturday Night Live. Mm-hmm. When he delivers that line on the set of that film, does he know that he's delivering Chris Kattan's line?
Well, I bet you at that point they had made peace.
They had not yet.
No.
They had not yet.
Maybe. Who knows?
I also told you earlier today, and we kind of stifled the conversation to save for this, but I think in some alternate universe, Chris Kattan is in Step Brothers, not John C. Reilly.
And I could see that.
Chris Kattan is in Talladega Nights, not John C. Reilly.
As fantastic as the chemistry is between John C. Reilly
I wouldn't
and
change
Will
it for
Ferrell,
anything.
Would not. There is an alternate universe where Chris Kattan was not in Will Ferrell's Blacklist, where they made more movies together, and those movies could be a different Step Brothers or Talladega Nights.
I could not help myself but think about a Chris Kattan, Will Ferrell Step Brothers.
It would be amazing because
this film is so fucking funny.
It's so easy to play two dumb brothers in a very two-dimensional way, but here they actually they're funny.
So much to unpack for both characters.
Yes,
this is such a great comedy, and it's going to be off-written because it's an SNL sketch with Chris Kattan and Will Ferrell. And honestly, this is the kind of shit that Will Ferrell does that I don't like. But this is the best version of it.
It's great.
This big character, this silly kind of thing was what I kind of get tired of with Will Ferrell, because I like his stranger than fiction acting. I like his more subtle, real acting that he does. That being said, this is the best version of Will Ferrell you can get.
Yeah, this is the best bonkers version of Will Ferrell, because we like the grounded Will Ferrell, right? That we've seen in Stranger in Fiction.
Because it's the opposite of it.
Yes.
And the other point I wanted to bring up, since we're still on cast members, kind of.
Yeah.
Is Molly Shannon quietly the most reoccurring actress on our show?
Yeah, dude. She was in Never Been Kissed. And I can't really think of anything else.
She was in Horse Girl.
Oh, she was.
And she was in 2 other films, but I can't think of their names right now.
Molly Shannon, actually a very good actress. The fact that you
gorgeous too. Even in her current age, she is still a funny, smart, talented woman. And that puts, to me, a beautiful woman.
I think she is a beautiful woman. Her humor mixed with and her looks, being like the kind of like quirky but still attractive girl, still works for me, dude. Before we move forward, I need to talk about Chris Kattan, because Chris Kattan kind of has like a heartbreaking, what do you call it? What's the word for it? Heartbreaking rest of his
grace.
Fall from grace is a good way to put it.
Thank you.
Because right here, 1998, Night at the Roxbury was probably the pinnacle of his career. He was killing it on SNL, and he was in so many sketches, and he was in this, this big movie, this blockbuster film,
a film that made double its money.
And it wasn't until he had suffered from a pretty bad neck injury from
horrifying.
falling off of a table during a sketch on SNL. He broke his neck and has had to have like multiple surgeries, has had to have been pulled out of Hollywood for such a long time. And for someone like him, who is a very physical actor, and like you could see it now, like he's slowly but surely coming back. He came out with, he just wrote a book, his own memoir called Baby Don't Hurt Me, where he talks about his experiences on SNL. And like
that book was incredibly revealing. I have, not to diminish anything that you're saying here, I have a tough time reading actors' biographies because a lot of times they're made for money. That's why like Screech, rest in peace,
that's right. He
wrote
passed
that
away.
book about Saved by the Bell, and everybody was upset. And then even he came out later and was like, I had a ghostwriter on that, right? The publishers made it say that shit because they needed to sell books and I needed money, so I let them do it.
Yeah.
That's the underhanded side of the publishing side of it. But that being said, Chris Kattan revealed a lot of stuff from the set of this film and the set of Saturday Night Live that I don't think is false. I completely believe everything he says, and the people who deny him, I think, are not being honest to what happens in the industry. Mm-hmm. And it's so, again, I'm not a hypocrite. I'm just saying there's two sides of this knife.
Yeah, no, when you are writing a memoir, it has
to be sellable.
It does, especially and I get it. If Chris Kattan were to go in the route of writing a memoir that needs to kind of help revive his career, because he did go on like a little promotional tour when it had come out, I think in 2019. Yeah. He had gone on Jimmy Fallon and he had been on some like morning talk shows. And
you got to sell the book.
Yes.
But like I just said, that does not mean I'm discrediting what he's saying in the book, because I thoroughly believe what he said in this book.
Mm-hmm. Nonetheless, it's heartbreaking, dude. Like you could see him now. You could see the damage that neck injury really did to him, because he's only 50 years old, but he looks like he's aged quite a bit. And it's because like now he's in this movie, you see him shirtless quite a few times and he looks fit.
I made the comment to you that like his chest is popping.
Yeah, he has a big chest for a tiny man.
I did push-ups just watching this film.
He was cut.
Yeah.
And I think it's because he spent so much time just being physical on stage and sweating and like, that's doing just stuff. A workout with it in itself. But like suffering a neck injury, you could see that he barely even has a neck from all the surgeries nowadays. Like, check him out. He was just, he's the most recent guest on Tiger Belly.
Oh, really?
Yes. And he kills it.
Very timely.
You can see in watching that episode with him, very sincere guy that just like wants to make people laugh.
He's honestly a great comedian, and the physical comedy of him. It sucks that he got hurt doing SNL, because think about how many comedians got hurt doing SNL and fucking ruined their lives, like Chevy Chase, like Tracy Morgan,
that's
like
right,
Chris Kattan.
A lot of health issues from these SNL cast members, man.
Jim Belushi.
Yeah, man. It's
Lorne Michaels gets the best of you, but you ain't gonna have much left when he's done with you. That's for sure.
Yeah, dude. I mean, Chris Kattan says that he doesn't miss the SNL days. He reminisces on it. It was a great time.
I've never met anybody who's on SNL, but I've never heard an interview from anybody who worked on SNL who was like, man, I miss doing that. They miss like doing the show, but the 6 days outside of the Saturday night, or I'm sorry, the 5 days outside of the Saturday night and Sunday are literal hell.
Yeah, because you're doing rehearsal after rehearsal, like tightening it up and
coming up with new shit every fucking week. Not just new shit that's good, but new shit that has to beat out other shit.
Yeah, dude.
And everybody's fighting to get their face on there and their sketch on there and their screen time in. Because if not, then Chevy Chase is getting his on. And if not, Tracy Morgan's getting, you know what I mean? Like,
because all these featured cast members are trying to be permanent cast members, dude. It's a competition. Wow. Dude, that's showbiz, man. Like, as much as you are a team at the end of the day, the industry is so dirty where you have to be the best person on set.
And that we'll get to it later, but it was hard to pick mine on this episode.
Oh, it was still easy for me to pick mine.
Chris Kattan?
Yes, dude, Chris Kattan.
He's mine as well. But
wow.
spoilers.
Yes. Okay, spoilers. Let's talk about the movie.
I know we can get into the movie. This isn't at all like a bad episode. I think this is great.
No, I'm having fun.
This is somebody's first film ever, though.
Wait. I think Eva Mendes.
Correct, Amundo.
She is a beautiful bridesmaid to Molly Shannon in this film.
For 30 seconds in this film.
Her breasts are looked at by Will Ferrell.
Oh, I thought you were going to say by you.
By me, I mean, you're forced to look at it. The camera just kind of like frames the boobs here.
Yes, that's true.
But she is looking young. She still looks the same.
She looks great.
Fun fact, Will Ferrell did another movie with her after this.
Yes, he did.
The Other Guys, and he's married to her. So funny how that works.
Do you think
what?
It's the same character? No.
Oh, we're going to do the ICBTB thing of saying
not,
this is
no way. No,
that's hard to connect.
No way. I do want to give a special shout out to one of my favorite actors on this film.
Who?
Chaz Parliamentary.
Oh, who is what's the name of the Mr. Z?
Ziatati.
Wait, we got it right here.
Benny
Zadir of
Zadir
Industries, the club owner, the owner of the Roxbury.
But you guys would know Chaz better from like A Bronx Tale.
Yes.
And like every gangster film ever. And also that one zombies map on Alcatraz.
Is that him?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
That's him.
You're blowing my
For
mind.
both the voice and the design of the character.
You know, I really only know him from this. I know that he's from A Bronx Tale.
You are fucking me, right? He's in The Sopranos. He's like literally in every gangster's film.
No. I know that he's in a bunch of gangsters films.
Okay. But this is when you see him, this is the movie you think of?
I think this because I saw this as a kid.
It took me literally until they go into that final club to realize that was him.
Yeah.
I could not recognize him for so long, and then when I finally I was like, that's A Bronx Tale.
Yes, that's him. He has such a distinctive face, man, and now
But
he is.
Like he has a lot of facial hair,
Right.
and like he doesn't usually have that kind of hair. He usually has it slicked back like a greasy guap. I'm
Yes.
sorry, Italian. I don't know what you call him now. Anyways, incredible.
Yes.
Impeccable.
To see him playing this nightclub owner who's accusing anyone and everyone of grabbing his ass.
Did you grab my ass?
Did you grab my ass?
It'd be all right if you did.
Sir, from where I'm standing, it's a physical impossibility for me to grab your ass.
That line that you're quoting is from the incredible, funny Colin Quinn.
Yes. Another SNL cast member.
I love Colin Quinn, and now he's been a hair tainted for me. Only in the sense that I imagine Colin Quinn as the cranky old man from Trainwreck every time I see him now. Every time I see him now, because I think that character of Amy Schumer's cranky old dad was the best character Colin Quinn has ever done.
It's really an exaggeration because Colin Quinn, kind of like a cranky New Yorker. You know what I'm talking about? I like it,
that's
dude.
That's the best. I love Colin Quinn. I think he's an incredible comedian. His stand-up is fantastic, but that character is truly, honestly,
so good.
Is Trainwreck rated bad? Can we do Trainwreck?
I think it did pretty well. I think
it did too, but maybe now people have rated it bad.
We'll take a look at it. I can't imagine.
People hate Amy Schumer, so I wouldn't be surprised if some people.
Well, she's accused of like stealing jokes, man.
She definitely probably took a couple, but a lot of her other stuff wasn't stolen. Anyways,
yeah, that's our Trainwreck episode that I'll have to listen to in the future.
I can't wait to do that. A Night at the Roxbury. Are you familiar with the club in Hollywood?
Oh, the actual Roxbury?
Yes.
No, dude.
I remember the Roxbury to me is like the place of places. Like it's the whiskey a go-go to the 80s kids.
It makes sense that they had to choose a notable club that actually existed to like match these crazy characters from this sketch, especially if it's going to be the title, right? Because let
me get one more deep breath in because we're going to go into this episode and I just want to be prepared. So let me get one more breath of oxygen in.
Okay, you do it.
This film is fucking incredible.
So good. And I'm once again,
the fact that they use real club of the Roxbury, the fact that they use like real Rodeo Drive, the house that they live in.
Let's talk about the first time. So Richard Grieco gets them into the club and the shots they use to get them into the club.
Hang on. The first time that they first time they try to get into the Roxbury, Michael Clark Duncan shuts them down.
Rest in peace, by the way. Big guy. Shuts them down
because he's not on the list. But who walks in?
Richard Grieco.
And then that comes back again later. The next time they come to the Roxbury, Richard Grieco actually crashed into them. And so in order for him to avoid a lawsuit, he's like, oh, I'll take you to the Roxbury.
And these guys are so dumb that they are not even thinking of their potential neck injuries or their like damaged plant
Well,
van.
they don't have neck injuries because they were able to still do their dance.
That's
move.
their test. That is their. Speaking of which, how have we not brought up that infamous head bob?
Because that's going to be our promo. It's just going to be us.
We'll record that at the end. But yes, so Richard Grieco hits them, and so to avoid a lawsuit, he says, "What's up, guys?" And they're like, "We were just on our way to the Roxbury, but we can never get in."
He's like, I can get you in.
And they're like,
And if
"Fuck yeah!"
For those millennials out there who don't know who Richard Grieco is, he was in 21 Jump Street with Johnny Depp. And 21 Jump Street is a show from the 80s.
Yes.
About guys who were in the police force. Oh, you guys are familiar with the Channing Tatum, Jonah Hill movie. That's a remake of 21 Jump Street, which was a TV show.
Yep.
And now we're back to our adult listeners who are listening.
Yes, and so Richard Grieco gets them into the Roxbury.
The Roxbury was a club that was very...
Which I want to bring it back to Michael Clark Duncan. They try bribing him because they see some dude go in and like hand him money.
Fast math. How much did they try and rob him with?
It's not fast math. I've read it. It's $8.25. But it's so funny how they try to bribe him. They're like, I got a friend here that might convince you. George Washington.
No, Mr. Lincoln.
Oh, Lincoln. They start
and
off with
his
a $5.
friend, Mr. Washington. So
Washington.
they're starting with $6.
Yes, these rich boys only have a few bucks in their pockets.
My favorite part is when Michael Clark Duncan just tips his clip or whatever and pats it. Not 2 times, not 3 times, like 6 times.
To make sure all of the change is out. It's out. There's no money on
And
that
then turns
clipboard.
away from him. I love it.
Even the way that these two guys wait in line tell the same story to these women.
So, like I said, I've been giving myself a crash course in college script writing.
Let's hear it.
And one of the things that I've learned is how you have to always progress the screenplay in a forward direction.
Yes.
So if you show a montage or you show something, it's got to progress the storyline. What that showed us was that they tell the same story to every single girl. We see it in 4 or 5 different frames, and we also know that time is progressing as they're moving forward in the line, all the way to the precipice where they get to the front of the line, and Michael Clark Duncan says,
The Roxbury's closed.
and they don't get to go in.
They're really just at the front. And they've waited. It's already like probably 2 a.m.
Yes.
Because they got in line
What time
at
do
like
you think clubs close?
fucking
3 yeah,
2 or 3, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on what state you're in,
I'm
when do
not
they
a-
close the
yeah,
liquor,
I don't
right?
club. I don't go club.
It's been a minute since I've clubbed, man.
I hate clubs. I've been to a couple of clubs with you. That one experience was fun, but every other time I go to a club, I hate the amount of people.
Well, the clubbing
Too
is
loud.
as much as it is a test of human, nature
Fortitude.
and our like
Animalistic vibes.
instincts, and
Yes.
like this is me trying to like
Dance
find
with
a
you
mate.
and Peacock can show you my.
Yeah, without
everything.
having a conversation.
Is the club secretly the most animalistic
Not even secretly, dude.
yet most sophisticated?
No, there's no. Depends
There
what club.
is. There's always like a super high level, because the one thing I really got a kick out of was the way that people were dressed in these clubs. Because my thinking was like, this is very 1990s club, and all of those clothes cost like hundreds of dollars.
A lot of money.
And now all those clothes are jokes.
Honestly, I would still wear whatever Steve and Doug Butabi were wearing in this movie. The silk blazers
the
with the
shark fin suit.
yes, with the black tee and a gold chain.
I don't know about the gold chain, but I'd wear a shark fin suit.
I'd wear the gold chain.
I'd wear a
dude.
shark fin suit. For
I mean,
sure.
we should try it on. If we could go to a thrift store,
Halloween.
Yes, Halloween. Honestly, you could be Will Ferrell, and I could be Chris
I
Kattan.
wanted to be Chris Kattan.
But dude, look at our height difference. Come on.
That's what makes it funny.
No, that would.
People would be like, "Oh, are you Chris Kattan and you're Will?" No, actually, I'm Chris Kattan.
And I'm Will Ferrell.
You'd have to comb your hair like part down the middle,
I think, which makes more sense for you to do because you did that in
which
grade
makes
school.
it funnier
What, that I would do it?
because it's a joke on a joke. It's a hat on a hat.
It's too meta for some people.
You're
though.
right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
And Chris
this is
Kattan.
why we need each other for comedy.
Yeah, this is, dude, this is Chris Kattan compliments Will Ferrell and vice versa.
Christian Balthazar compliments
Alejandro.
Marjani.
Oh, Marjani. Shout out Marjani. Check out the other episodes, y'all.
This is your favorite movie.
Yes, one of.
How over under 100 times? How many times have you seen it?
I would say 50.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's actually 100's a bad number. 50 is actually far more reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, because I also had other VHSs that I wanted to bounce off
But the
from.
fact that you have it as a VHS and still have it to this day isn't a testament to how much you love this film.
Dude, it's in great condition still. The VHS box is sparkly golden, and it's so cool. I'll show it. I'll post it.
Yes, you will. You have to post it.
I have to.
What's your favorite scene, Christian?
I think
what's your least favorite scene?
that's hard. The latter will be definitely harder.
We'll save that for the second
answer.
question. Then.
So I have two favorite scenes, and they're very close to each other. So when they finally get into the Roxbury, and it's the camera shots are so beautiful, and they really show how glorious this nightclub is, especially with the music. The music that they play in this movie, the entire soundtrack is banging and makes me want to have been like,
you're getting a little ahead of yourself here, but yes.
Yeah, and I know it's completely subjective.
Yeah, I was with you to a good point of that, but
hey,
yes.
Try bumping it in your car with the bass up. Some of the songs here, if not all, slap, dude.
You know what? Tomorrow I go to work at 6 a.m. I'm going to.
I'll give you the top 3 songs that you should slap in order.
Go.
For sure. Oh, right now?
Yes.
The one that goes la da da dee da 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 da. La da da dee da 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 da. I'm not gonna say Hadaway's "What Is Love" because everyone knows
That's a great fun fact about that first song we sang. I always thought that was the same song as the X-Men theme song.
No, dude. Man, what a crazy mashup, man. Can you imagine a DJ? A DJ?
DJ Handsome Rob, make that mashup for us, please.
Start off with whatever the name of the song is. Be My Lover is the name of the song.
Be My Lover and the X-Men theme song. Please, DJ Handsome Rob, if you love us at all.
Mix those two together and drop that.
Also, shout out Real Buzz Crew, our best friends over in Kansas City.
Yes. But that is my favorite scene. To get back to it,
yes.
That and showing how glorious it is. And afterwards, that same night, there are 2 gold diggers in the club, known as Vivica and Camby, and they are scoping out who to prey on next. And they see that
Vivica's fine as shiny diamonds.
You know who Vivica is, right?
Who?
Jennifer Coolidge. You know who Jennifer Coolidge is? Stifler's mom. No. I'm sorry. That's Hottie Cop.
Yes.
The cop.
Hottie Cop is Stifler's mom.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Which I didn't recognize her when she came up to the window. I only recognized her at the club.
At the club,
looks like she aged 100 years by the time the club scene came.
She looks good as a cop, but she does not look good when she's club
She looks
hopping.
like Stifler's mom at the club.
Yeah.
She looks like a hot cop in the movie.
Interesting casting choice, but hey, I'm
now,
not
Christian,
mad at it.
curveball.
What?
Your least favorite scene of this movie?
Before I get into that, no, I got to talk about that one scene. My second favorite scene.
Oh, yes.
Was when they finally the girls, Vivica and Camby, walk up to Steve and Doug in slow motion, and they're freaking out because this never happens to them, and they're asked to dance. And this whole dancing montage, so funny.
First of all, they're asked to dance, and they're like, "Do you want to dance?" And Chris Kattan tells Will Ferrell, "No, they already said yes." That's one of my favorite jokes of the entire. Also, the through line joke of them being virgins and only knowing opening lines because they've never gotten past that point.
Yes.
So here they are on the couch or in the bedroom with these women who are fine as shiny diamonds.
I like Camby.
And so they're
Camby's
sitting there and they think to themselves, well, we got to say the things that we know. All they know is this story about when they saw Emilio Estevez at a payphone.
So as they're making out, Vivica is biting and tugging on Will Ferrell's lower lip, and he's telling the story still, not getting the sign. Like, dude, you're about to have sex.
He's like, he even asks her a question. She's like, what's your favorite?
Yeah. And so Chris Kattan in the other room right across the hall,
getting his lip bitten, is saying these opening lines. He's saying, do you like blueberries or strawberries? And she's like, why? He's like, I want to know what kind of pancakes to make in the morning. And does this Chris Kattan laugh? And she's so confused. Is that a mirror in your pocket? Because I think I see myself in your pants.
And Camby is annoyed at this point because she's just trying to get it in.
Well, she's trying to get money from these men who have a lot. Because when they're gold diggers, that's not what women do. That's what these characters do.
Yeah, they SNL or Chris Kattan and Will Ferrell, having written this, did a good job of really framing the stupidity
of gold diggers.
And the stupidity of their own characters who are very dumb people that hit on every woman.
But also that Dumb and Dumber bit of they're hitting on me because they think I'm super rich. But then when they find out later that they don't have a car and they're trying to get them in their van, they're like, fuck you. We're not about this. And
You're
then they
a waste of time.
Then they leave them. Spoilers.
Yes.
Yes.
Funny, dude. And
hilarious.
So when they're about to have sex, these girls both say, oh my God, is this your first time? And Chris Kattan and Will Ferrell are trying to play it off like, no. Or Will Ferrell
says yes.
He says, yes, isn't it yours? The most innocent way to respond.
You're Will Ferrell.
Who, me?
And I'm Chris Kattan.
Well, I guess.
But you look like Chris Kattan.
I'll take that. I'll take that compliment.
Like Will Ferrell.
Just our heights.
None of that's true.
Just our heights. We look nothing like these two actors, dude.
Worst, your least favorite scene in the film, please.
I think it has to be when Colin Quinn
doesn't let them
to see Zadir for the meeting that Zadir wants to have.
Because Zadir's been looking for them for hours.
For hours. He's like, hey, Dewey, where are the two boys from last night with the idea? Get them here. And Colin Quinn lies and, shoos them out of the building.
And then, but Colin Quinn also has a reason to.
Because
they make a your mother and a your father joke.
In the limo. Yes, because they think that just because the glass is up, Colin Quinn can't hear them.
I think that's my favorite bit of when Colin Quinn's like, why don't you ask my mother or my father?
Yes, for you listeners that are confused that haven't seen the movie and don't know the bit. They get into the limo after the night at the Roxbury.
With Zadir and their two lady friends.
Yes, and they're just making fun of Colin Quinn because he's just the limo driver. And so there's that power dynamic. And so he has the window separating the driver from the people in the back seat.
I believe Beyonce called it a partition.
A partition. And Chris Kattan says, oh, do you remember how he says it?
He's like, yeah, I had a good time. You can ask your mom about it.
Yes, and Will Ferrell says, yeah, you could ask your dad too.
And then they're like,
no. And Will Ferrell's like, oh, I mean your sister. Nice save.
Great save.
And in that same scene, they recommend Fluffy Whip. They say sometimes we get whipped cream, and before the cream comes out, we just like to suck on it, and it just makes us feel really good. And
that's Whippets.
Yeah, you mean nitrous oxide?
That's straight up Whippets,
dude. That is what it is,
yes.
Dude. That's an example of a joke in this movie that I did not understand as a kid. I thought that they're like they just like
eating, yeah,
they just like eating whipped cream, man.
Fat boy.
And so, yeah, fuck yeah, dude, because whipped cream
I've
was
done it
good.
too. I'm not saying that I haven't.
But I never
thought about it.
Never thought about it.
I love the fact that Molly Shannon's character is the made to marry you like life partner. Like your dad has this whole vision of his children. This is who you're going to be set up with. It's going to help the whole family. This is what's going to happen. And Molly Shannon is a perfect woman until we find out that Molly Shannon is actually like a major bitch.
She's a control freak, man.
Yeah, like a major jerk. And it's like interesting to see Will Ferrell like lose his control of his life and just like, yeah, okay, I guess I'll marry Molly Shannon, and watch Molly Shannon like do weird things with strawberries and then like make him do a toast, and like I just felt so bad for Will Ferrell's character.
It's because he didn't have, this was right after he and Chris Kattan's character get into a fight, and so he doesn't have Chris Kattan there to like defend him from this crazy girl, because
again why I'm Chris Kattan.
What? What's that supposed to mean?
I love you.
You would protect me from a crazy girl?
I would protect you from anything.
Oh, really?
I'd jump on a grenade for you.
Oh, Bruno Mars, thank you. I appreciate that. But, okay.
You're supposed to say I'd do that for you too.
I would do that for you, dude.
Oh my
I definitely
God.
would.
Oh my God.
I'll take a bunch of bullets for you. I would.
How many is a bunch?
I mean, a clip. A full clip. That's a lot.
How many is it? Depends on the gun.
I don't know. I'm dead already,
Pick
dude.
a number.
I'm dead.
How many?
32.
I would take 33 for you.
That's fucked up, and that's a fucked up clip. I don't know if clips... I don't know. I only play Call of Duty, so I don't know how many bullets are in a clip.
It depends on the gun, but also whatever amount of bullets you pick, I pick
one more. Fuck out of here, dude. Fuck out of here, dude. What is this, a competition about like who's a better martyr? Fuck you, dude. Yeah, no, come on. I already like what? Come on. Do I have to say all this stuff? Yes, I jump on a grenade for you. Yes. Yeah, man.
I jump on 2 grenades.
Stop. Fuck you. Fuck out of here, dude. All this so you could be Chris Kattan and I have to be Will Ferrell?
I'm sorry. Okay, you're right.
I've seen this 50 times.
I'm laughing really hard. It's pushing on my bladder.
Yeah. Oh, I hope you piss yourself.
Oh, kinky.
Gross.
Oh God. So Molly Shannon is also in this film.
And she is the annoying girl next door. Well, you don't think that's annoying? She's
No,
literally chasing their car as they
I
drive
think
away.
it's Girl Next Door that I have a problem with.
But she's literal girl next door. That's what it is.
I do love when she's singing the Cheers theme because their mom is from Cheers.
Yes. And even their dad was in a few episodes of Cheers.
It took me a minute to figure out when he started playing the piano, I was like, I know this song. And like, I kind of forget sometimes the Cheers theme song in the beginning.
I know. Oh my gosh. Eileen, yeah, that song, that scene, I know so well. I know when it cuts off, and I know when Chris Kattan goes into his rant where he was like, you can take away our cars, you can take away our keys, but you can never take away blah, 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 blah. And because I've seen this movie so many times.
So good.
It's really the whole montage of them getting ready in the bathroom too, to Rod Stewart's "If You Like My Body and You Think," that whole thing. What a great montage.
That song reminds me of the Chips Ahoy commercial from like 2004.
That's very specific.
Yep. I think this is such a great film. I'm sorry I pushed it off for this long. Honestly.
Yeah, dude. I've brought it up a few times.
A lot. Since we started the idea for this podcast.
I knew it was definitely something that we had to do eventually, and I'm glad that you agreed to it. By the way, Baddies, it's available on Hulu and Prime Video if you want to check it. So check that out.
Do you have a Best Person on Set award?
It's going to go to Chris Kattan.
Mine's also going to go to Chris Kattan with a special shout out
to
Amy Heckerling.
And tell the baddies who that is.
Amy Heckerling was a producer on this film who was supposed to be the director of this film. And according to Chris Kattan, you know what? I don't even want to get into it, actually. If you want to get into it, you can look it up online. I like this film. I don't want to taint this in any kind of way.
You won't taint it. I think we owe it to the listeners to tell them we're this far. Or else you're going to be blue balling them.
You know, honestly,
this is the whole reason why. Oh, we never even told them why Will Ferrell stopped talking to Chris Kattan, and this is really what that is.
It is, but it's. I don't know why I feel like this, because generally I would never feel like this.
Do you want me to say it?
I almost feel like because I feel like I'm airing out someone else's dirty laundry, because I feel bad for their friendship. You know, here's what it is, real quick, before you tell the story.
What?
I feel bad for their friendship. I feel bad that Chris Kattan and Will Ferrell lost how close of a bond that they had as what seemed to be best friends and good coworkers and good actors together. I feel bad about
It sucks.
especially because it's like outside forces destroyed their relationship. And so I feel bad telling the story. So you go ahead and take it from here.
So it's apparently...
Allegedly,
I guess is a better term. Chris Kattan had
an affair.
Had an affair. Would you call it an affair? Was he married? No,
she was though.
Oh, she was. Mm-hmm. Okay, I didn't know that part. So he had an affair with Amy Heckerling, who is a producer on Saturday Night Live, a director of a few SNL films, and is a producer for this film specifically.
Yeah, she did Clueless, and she did a bunch of other stuff. She was supposed to direct this film, and rumor has it that she was going to drop out
unless Chris Kattan slept with her.
Not unless. She was going to drop out because Chris Kattan didn't want to sleep with her.
Oh.
And the story goes that the next day, after she made her advances on Chris Kattan, at 27 years old, he gets a call from Lorne Michaels, who tells him that they're going to cancel this film if Paramount is going to cancel this film if Amy's not attached to it. And if you got to do whatever you got to do to keep Amy happy, you do it.
Damn, dude.
And Chris
That's heavy.
Hung up the phone and had to do and felt like he was being pressured into having a physical relationship with her.
Yes.
And her daughter has come out later, and there's quite a bit of drama that goes on with Amy's life. Like, her daughter believes her biological father was somebody else, and then it came out later in her life that it was actually Harold Ramis. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, her mom had a very difficult struggle with her body image, and, you know, cocaine was very prevalent in the early years of Saturday Night Live. So they had their problems. And her daughter, Molly, says that this was nothing more than just an affair. And Chris Kattan is blowing this out of proportion, and their affair started well into the production of the film, had nothing to do with Amy joining the film. But that's because it's an abuse of power. Mm-hmm. And it's tough to not agree with the victim just because it's a man.
Yeah.
And it's like hard. You believe all women, but we also believe all victims. And so people are really torn. It's a can of worms. That's why I was really hesitant to get into it.
I mean, nonetheless, yes, you're right. It is an abuse of power, and in putting that in that position, especially with the pressure that you already have with SNL.
And also because Amy was 43 and Chris Kattan at the time was 27.
Young, so young. And
if you flip the roles, it would be an abuse of power that is very clear, and we would crucify Chris Kattan if it was flipped.
And it was one of like so much pressure because this is potentially one of the biggest career choices of his life, you know, bringing one of this popular SNL sketch.
He's damned if he is, he's damned if he isn't, because look what happened. He ended up, some people say Will Ferrell doesn't talk to Chris Kattan because some rumors are that Will Ferrell had a connection to Amy. Some people say it's because Will Ferrell was upset that Chris Kattan was able to be so manipulated by Lorne Michaels.
And unprofessional, yeah.
And some people think it's because Will Ferrell saw that as Chris Kattan's way of getting closer to Lorne Michaels and make him bigger. Will Ferrell wanted to be a bigger star to Lorne Michaels and took it the other way. So there's a lot of speculation in this story, and this is all conjecture.
Yes.
Even like we said in the beginning, even if we're quoting his book, it's all conjecture and alleged.
Yeah, who knows the truth? I mean, there's a bunch of different stories from different individuals, but
who knows the truth? But I do believe the stories.
Yes,
because if it wasn't true, why does SNL keep denying? Why does SNL keep denying interviews and denying to say anything?
There is some truth in the stories, and
maybe not all of it.
The entertainment industry
is
a dirty, dirty industry where shit like this does happen, and like it can ruin careers, like Chris Kattan's career. He committed so hard, he literally broke his neck, and he was put into this position where he had to where it potentially lost him a good friendship with someone he had great on-screen chemistry with, Will Ferrell. And it's he just, and I told you this before, and I got this quote from Bobby Lee: I don't know what I don't know, right?
Wow.
And it's that's true, dude. And I want to hope that the choices that were made, he didn't make it with intent to hurt anyone. But what I do know is that
somebody was hurt.
Somebody was hurt, but without this,
a lot of people were hurt, actually.
Whatever happened, this film was made. And this film has become and is a piece of me because it is a piece of my childhood.
And it is a nail in the long line of nails of cinema history that are just, part of the whole beautiful picture, but nonetheless an important piece.
Yes.
The production of this film is a classic story of Hollywood drama. The result of this film is a classic storyline of Hollywood drama. The people in this movie are classic storylines. Everybody from Molly Shannon to Will Ferrell to Chris Kattan.
Yes.
To, it's filmed in LA. Even Rodeo Drive is different now. Every character from the Roxbury to Chris Kattan has changed and grown over the years. It's a tentpole in cinema because people don't realize what this film meant to the people who made our childhood. Will Ferrell, Molly Shannon, Lorne Michaels, Chris Kattan, right? Both of us are very influenced by these people because we do comedy and because we do this shit. We wouldn't be doing this shit without them.
And I think this was just a fun way to see what life was like during that time with the music. The music is so dated, but like I said, and I know it's subjective, I fucking love the music.
I do to a point.
And the fashion too.
I do love that.
Right? The fashion was so glamorous, and to just see the wealthy clubbing scene, and it's as exaggerated as it was, there's truth in that. And wow, to live in where were they? Were they in Southern California?
LA.
Or okay.
Straight up at downtown LA, Beverly Hills, Rodeo Drive.
Yes. So they're in LA in
Venice
the
Beach.
late 90s, something that I wouldn't have been able to see because I was 5 years old.
Well, that's when I was there.
Yeah.
Or the early 90s, at
But
least.
you couldn't get into the Roxbury.
I not as a baby, you're right.
Yeah, no babies allowed at the Roxbury.
Although I would have been on the list, let's be honest here.
Oh, as a baby?
I would have been on the list.
Get this child into the Roxbury. This kid knows Richard Grieco. Alejandro Adrian Mendoza Middleton knows Richard Grieco. This 5-year-old, get him into the Roxbury.
That is correct, Amundo.
Would be really cool.
What would you rate this film?
Dude, 10 out of 5.
I also give it a 10 out of 5.
That's right. You guys, if you could do your math, that is a solid 2. 10 divided by 5.
Oh, you're making it sound bad. It's actually 20, so it's actually 4 out of 5.
What?
Because my 10 and your 10 together.
Oh, you're adding it?
I don't know, man. This is made up math.
No.
Don't get mad at me when we're both making up math here.
It was true math.
You're getting mad at me for made up math. I'm also making up math.
I didn't get mad. I was just questioning.
Question other things.
I don't know. That's hard for me to not question. My dad was an accountant, so numbers run my life.
Well, jewels run mine.
Jewels, yes. Hence the rings and the bracelets. And
I actually don't wear a lot of jewelry. Well, I do wear a lot of jewelry, actually.
Yeah.
I wear rings and watches. And
yeah, so you wouldn't wear a gold chain like these boys did in this movie?
I don't wear a lot of gold, period. I'm more of a silver fan.
Ah, so you... Okay, wear a silver chain.
Yeah, I'd
With the
wear a
black
silver
tee?
chain. Or platinum. I'd wear platinum.
Hey, do it. As
Do
long
it.
as you have a silk blazer on and we can go to the Roxbury.
And I will be Will Ferrell because I can part my hair down the middle.
Huge shout out to Operator 238 in this film, who is the credit vixen.
I was just going to say.
Her voice, honestly. Can you pull up that actress's name?
Yeah, of course.
Fattest crush on her. I think she was the most attractive woman in this movie just because of her voice and how, I don't know, being a singer and like talking voices means so much to me.
The credit vixen to me was actually like quite a surprise because she seemed to me like somebody who would keep showing up in other films, but I honestly don't know her from anything.
Same here.
Her name is Meredith Scott Lynn.
Meredith Scott Lynn.
And she's most known for her roles in I Love You, Don't Touch Me, Bill's Hollywood Screen, the Three Tales movie, A Mermaid Story, and The Marshall's Chronicles.
Sorry, don't know you from any of those films, Meredith, but
literally not a single one.
You killed it in this film, I'll tell you that.
And that's why we like you.
Yes, so shout out to you.
And shout out to us.
Yeah, shout out to ICBTB podcast.
And shout out to call_me Jesus.
Shout out to Christian Has Asthma.
And shout out to the orphans of the world.
Yes, it must be very difficult not having parents.
And you know, guys, it's too difficult in this country to adopt. It should be easier. That's a fact.
Yes.
Let's help out the kids.
If it's possible, try to stop making babies as much.
100% stop making babies. That's actually the point of this podcast.
Yeah, it's the point of this episode is not A Night at the Roxbury.
No. Stop making babies.
That is the moral of this episode.
So we'll end it with those famous 3 words, Christian.
Stop
Kiss my ass. Oh.
Did you touch
touch my ass?
Bye.
That bad.